Panther Nation. Something special is happening in Carolina, and it's not just another Sunday win. It's history in the making. The kind of comeback that sends chills down your spine, the kind that makes every fan believe this team might finally be turning a corner. Because what went down this weekend? It wasn't luck. It was heart, it was fight, and it was the Panthers saying, "We're not done yet." Let's talk about what we just witnessed, one of the greatest comebacks in franchise history. Down by 17 and counted out, the Panthers clawed their way back to tie the biggest comeback ever recorded by this team. We've seen it happen only a few times before, back in 2003, again in 2004, and the last time was 2018 against Philly. But this one? It hit different. Because this time, it didn't feel like luck, it felt like a message. And then there's Rico Dowdle, the man who absolutely exploded for 206 rushing yards, the second most in Panthers history. You heard that right. Only D'Angelo Williams has ever rushed for more, and that was way back in 2012. Rico just joined some legendary company. And honestly, it's shocking that Chuba Hubbard hasn't cracked that mark yet, but hey, when your offense is built on heart and hustle, you never know who's next to break out. From scrimmage, Dowdle totaled 234 yards, the third most in franchise history, sitting only behind Christian McCaffrey himself. That's rare air. That's Panther greatness. And the defense, let's talk about that wall. Only 19 rushing yards allowed. That's not just good, that's domination. The second lowest in Panthers history. You'd have to go all the way back to 2015 against Washington to find a lower number, just 14 yards allowed that day. Think about that. This defense didn't just show up, they sent a message, "You're not running on us." They also held opponents to just 1.36 yards per rush attempt. That's almost impossible in today's NFL. The only time it's ever been lower? 1996. Almost 30 years ago. This isn't just improvement, this is legacy-level defense. And here's something fans might not realize, the Panthers are second best in the entire NFL in penalty differential right now. That means they're drawing flags on opponents, playing disciplined football, and winning the mental game. A +12 differential this early in the season is wild. It shows composure. It shows focus. And it shows a team that's finally learning how to win the small battles that build toward the big ones. Now sure, it hasn't been perfect, especially on the road, but undefeated at home, forcing mistakes, playing smart. That's how good teams start to become great ones. And speaking of greatness, there's one name every Panthers fan has been waiting to hear again, Jalen Coker. That's right, the window for his return is officially open. Coach Canales confirmed they're carefully working him back in, saying, "We're going to throw some workloads at him and kind of increase it each day to see where he's at." That's exactly what you want to hear. Step by step. Day by day. Because when Coker is back, this offense isn't just going to improve, it's going to transform. Panthers fans, I want to know from you, after this comeback, after seeing this defense, after hearing Coker's return is near. How confident are you in this team right now? Drop your confidence rating in the comments, 1 to 10, and tell me what you think Carolina's real ceiling is this season. Because one thing's for sure, the fight is back in the Panthers. You can feel it, right? That spark in the air. That quiet sense that something big is about to happen in Carolina. Because Jalen Coker's comeback isn't just another player returning from injury, it could be the moment this offense finally wakes up. Coach Canales made it clear, they're watching every detail. Coker's speed, his conditioning, how his body responds to every drill, every sprint, every rep, the coaches aren't rushing him. They want him ready, not just to play, but to dominate. "We'll make the best decision for Jalen, and the best decision for the team," Coach said. And that's exactly what it should be. Smart. Careful. Strategic. But man, you can't help but get excited. Because when Jalen Coker is on the field, the offense just feels different. Coker's game isn't just about speed. He's that intermediate specialist, the kind of receiver who finds space between defenders and moves the chains when it matters most. He's not as big as T-Mac or Xavier, but he's not small either. He's that perfect middle ground weapon, strong, smooth, and reliable. Think about it like this: you've got Hunter Renfrow, the precise route runner. T-Mac and Xavier, your big body targets. Jimmy Horn, the lightning-fast deep threat. And now, Coker, your middle field assassin. The guy who's always open when the defense forgets he's there. He's like a modern Adam Thielen, dependable, clutch, and always in the right spot. Honestly, he's even more explosive. Imagine the combinations, man. Coker, Renfrow, T-Mac, Xavier, and Jimmy Horn, all on the field together. That's 5 different receiver styles, 5 different matchup nightmares. You can't double everyone. Someone's getting open every single play. And if that's not enough, throw in Rico Dowdle or Chuba Hubbard in the backfield. Mix in Sanders, Tommy Tremble, or Mitchell Evans at tight end. Now you've got weapons everywhere. Defenses won't know who to cover, or where the ball's going next. That's not just depth, that's firepower. And it feels good to finally say that again, doesn't it? Because not long ago, things looked rough. Injuries piling up, depth chart shrinking, it felt like the Panthers couldn't catch a break. But now, guys are coming back. The locker room is healthy. The energy is rising. This offense is reloading at just the right time. And speaking of reloading, let me vent for a second, because I'm still heated. Kansas City. I hate you. All I needed, and I mean all I needed, was one more carry for Isaiah Pacheco. One. Just one. But what did they do? They gave it to Kareem Hunt instead. And because of that, I lost my fantasy matchup 119.68 to 119.94. 0.3 difference. Do you know how painful that is? I was this close to pulling off a comeback of my own. And to make it worse, I benched Krosky Merritt, and the man drops 27 points. I'm just sitting there staring at my screen like, really? Now you go off. I know Cole, the guy I was playing, was sweating bullets, praying they wouldn't hand Pacheco the ball again. And guess what? They didn't. They actually didn't. Man, I was sick. But hey, that's fantasy for you, pure heartbreak mixed with false hope. Alright, Panther Nation, let's hear it from you. How big of a difference do you think Jalen Coker will make once he's back on the field? And if you play fantasy, tell me your most painful loss this week. I want to see those heartbreak stories in the comments. Because whether it's real football or fantasy football, sometimes, the game hits harder than we expect. The Panthers' comeback wasn't just on the field, it's in the heart of every fan who refused to give up. From shocking fantasy rankings to a touchdown that silenced the haters, this is the moment Panther Nation proved what true loyalty looks like. Alright, Panther fans, let's talk about where things stand right now in the Panther Pride Fantasy League. As of this morning, before ESPN starts switching up their stats again, here's the deal. We've got LeVar Markin down since 95 leading the pack at 4-1. Right behind them, it's a tight battle, the Bryce is right, go-getters, Horn Hub, Skinny with 2 tats, T-Mac Tutties, and You Damn Skippy, all sitting at 3-2. Things get trickier as we move down. Better Call Hall is hanging on at 2-3, while Renfrow Re-Up and the Leg of Zelda are both 1-4. And at the bottom, S2, man, still searching for that first win, 0-5. But here's where it gets fun, the power rankings just dropped, and they tell a whole different story. Down since 95 jumps all the way to number 1 after being 5th last week, talk about momentum. Skinny with 2 tats climbs from 6th to 2nd, proving that slow and steady wins games too. T-Mac Tutties and Lear Mark are holding strong, while Hornhub slips a bit to 5th. And then you've got go-getters and the Bryce is right taking a small hit in the standings. Still, let's keep it real, the season's young. Anything can happen. One big week, one breakout player, and the whole table flips upside down. That's fantasy football, baby, pure chaos wrapped in adrenaline. And speaking of adrenaline, our Panther freeze frame of the day? Oh, it's gotta be Xavier Lee. That man made a catch straight out of a highlight reel, a perfect throw from Bryce Young, and Lee snatched it out of the air in the back of the end zone like it was meant only for him. To hold on through contact. To secure it. That's what winners do. Shout out to you, X, you deserve it. Now let's hear from Panther Nation, because your voices are what make this team feel alive. First up, DTL said, I was in the stadium, man. When we were down 17-0, people started leaving. Bro. I gotta be honest. I don't feel sorry for anyone who left early. If you buy a ticket, you stay till the final whistle. You never know what can happen. The ones who stayed, they witnessed magic. The ones who left, well, they'll have to live with that regret. Next up, Tracy Barton Barrett shared her story. Her first NFL game, sitting way up in the nosebleed surrounded by Dolphins fans. She said after that rough start, they thought it was over. But then, the clouds cleared, literally. The storm passed, the sun came out, and the Panthers roared back to life. Tracy said she nearly lost her voice by the end, cheering with everything she had. And that, right there, is what being part of Panther Nation is all about, believing when others stop believing, staying loud when others walk out, and celebrating every spark of hope this team gives us. Because this isn't just football, it's faith, it's heart, it's family. Panther fans, I want to hear from you. After seeing this week's comeback in Fantasy Madness, how confident are you in this team moving forward? Drop your confidence level in the comments, 1 to 10, and let's see how strong Panther Nation really is. Real fans don't vanish when things get ugly, they stand tall, even when the scoreboard doesn't. Loyalty is easy when you're winning. But when your team struggles, that's when true fandom is tested. And today, Panther Nation, we're talking about what it really means to ride or die for your team. You know what, I gotta say this, I have a lot of respect for certain fan bases out there. Lions fans, Browns fans, Raiders fans, man, they've lived through years of heartbreak, disappointment, and rough seasons. Yet, they're still there, still cheering, still believing. That's real loyalty. That's something I admire deeply. And honestly, I think some Panthers fans could learn from that kind of loyalty. I get it, we all want to win. We want to see the team playing great football, chasing the playoffs, building something we can be proud of. But being a fan isn't just about the good times. It's about sticking around through the bad ones too. Yeah, it hurts to lose. Yeah, it's frustrating to see the same mistakes. But you can't just walk away. You can't say, I'm done, every time things go wrong. This is your team, your colors, your city, your pride. Don't give up on them. Don't let frustration steal your passion. Because the moment you stop believing, that's when the team truly loses. I'll be real with you, I've had my moments too. I've made videos where I was fed up, frustrated, and done. But somehow, I always find myself coming back. Because that's what it means to be part of Panther Nation, we may bend, but we don't break. And speaking of loyalty, I've got to shout out one of the real ones, Kareem J. Sanders. My guy said, I argued with so many Panthers fans after that win. Some people still found a way to complain. You're either with us or against us. Bro, I felt that. He said he watched the whole game on his birthday weekend, his blood pressure was going crazy, up and down the entire time. But when the final whistle blew, it was pure joy. That's what being a fan is all about, the highs, the lows, and that one sweet moment that makes it all worth it. So, happy birthday, Kareem. Libra gang strong. And man, I'm glad your birthday went better than mine. That Patriots game wasn't exactly the gift I was hoping for. And listen, y'all, I want to bring something back. I used to shout out birthdays in these videos, and I miss doing that. So here's what I need: if your birthday's coming up, drop it in the comments. I want to make sure you get your shout out. Because this community isn't just about football, it's about family. It's about celebrating each other through the wins and losses, on the field and off it. Alright, Panther Nation, before we wrap this up, I want to hear from you. Keycap 1, which record or stat we talked about today surprised you the most? Keycap 2, are you hyped for Jalen Coker's return, and what's your dream wide receiver lineup with him in it? Keycap 3, and finally, who do you think is taking the Panther Fantasy Championship this season? Could someone from the bottom pull off a Cinderella comeback? Drop your thoughts below, because I read every single one of them. And as always, my brothers and sisters in blue, stay loyal, stay proud, and keep pounding. Blue Heart.